Greetings, branch liners. Here I am in June 2020. Absolutely stunning day today. I'm going to start a walk today from Tweedmouth here near Berwick along the old railway line in the south of the River Tweed, running south of the River Tweed along to Kelso and then St Boswells. The railway was first built in 1849. It was opened in 1849. It took them about 3 years to build. And it ran initially from Tweedmouth, here in the south of the River Tweed, to Sprowston. Now that was only about 1.5 miles from Kelso, but coming from the other direction was the North British Railway stretch from St Boswells, which terminated at Kelso, and that was opened in 1851. The two sections of the line were then connected together. That 1.5 mile gap was connected up, and that allowed trains to run through from Berwick all the way to St Boswells through Kelso. Initially the line just ran from here in Tweedmouth, but in 1850, the year after it was opened, the Royal Border Bridge was opened, and that allowed trains to run into Berwick and completed the run of the East Coast Main Line, what is now the East Coast Main Line, from London to Edinburgh. From here I'll head out into the country and into the countryside and have a look along there. A lot of it I'll have to put the drone up and have a look from the air, as it is private ground. But as much of it as I can, I'll walk along. Next stop is Velvet Hall. The road below us runs roughly along the line of the railway. You can see it's all built up with residential and industrial units. Under the arrow is roughly where Tweedmouth station sat. There's absolutely nothing of that left these days. And then looking out to the west, you can start to see the course of the railway from here. Then in Middlelord Farm we come across the bridge to nowhere. All the bridges were built like this, in this same sort of design. They even had, all the way out to Cornhill, they even had carved stone underneath each bridge. Beautiful structures. The line of these hawthorn trees just bounds the rail where the railway used to be. And it goes into a farm track here which runs in a perfectly straight line all the way to the road that runs down to West Ord. Once we come to the road, the railway comes to a rather abrupt ending and just disappears into a field. But there's also the remains of the old bridge abutments here. The bridge itself was demolished shortly after the railway was closed, but the abutments have been left. Looking across the field to Mount Pleasant, just a couple of cottages, the remains of the bridge here, which has been incorporated into the garden. The cutting's been infilled, but rather a nice attraction in their garden. Looking back eastwards to Mount Pleasant. And at Lone End we come to this beautiful cutting, which has a perfectly flat bottom to it, beautiful sides on it as well, and this lovely curve round to another bridge which carries the road over the top of it. Another of a similar design to the bridge at Middle Ord. On the west side of the bridge, the remains of the cutting is rather overgrown and was very difficult to walk along. Lovely views out to the Cheviots in the south. Heading almost due south here. The remains of an old semaphore signal mast. When it comes out the cutting, it comes onto a slight embankment. And then once again disappears into fields. But you can see the course of the railway as it sweeps round towards Velvet Hall in the distance on the right. And just see the rise in the field where the railway went. And Velvet Hall station is ahead on the right hand side where the big tree is. Different colourings in the ground show you the course of the railway. It was a twin track, so it was quite wide. Looking back where we've just come from, this is looking back from Velvet Hall. And Velvet Hall station itself. If you've enjoyed this video, why not consider giving it a like and subscribing to the channel, because there will be continued walks along this line and looking at it from the air. The next stretch will be from here at Velvet Hall to Norham.